So the Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell issuing a warning about U.S. fiscal policy. He spoke to 60 Minutes in the recent days, an unusually candid interview for the Fed chair in which he warned that future generations, your kids, your grandkids, are going to pay for our current policies. Watch.
In the long run, the U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. The U.S. federal government's on an unsustainable fiscal path, and that just means that the debt is growing faster than the economy.
I have the sense this worries you very much.
Over the long run, of course it does. You know, we're borrowing from future generations. It's time for us to get back to putting a priority on fiscal sustainability.
Joining us now, first time here on the Hill, Anthony Pompliano, entrepreneur, successful investor, and partner at Pomp Investments. Pomp, what's good, my man? Great to talk to you.
Absolutely, Blake. This is for having me.
Yeah, of course. What'd you make of Jay Powell there? I mean, that was fairly frank, fairly candid. He doesn't really go down that path.
I think that's exactly true. He obviously wanted to get a message out to the American people, and in that format, tons of clips went viral online. I think he was successful in getting that message out, but he's also just being honest. If you look at it, we have a $34 trillion debt. We have over $1 trillion of interest payments now. The deficit last year is, call it $1.5, $1.7 trillion. It's now estimated by the CBO that it's going to end up being $2 trillion between this year all the way to 2030. And that doesn't even account for the $200 trillion that we actually owe in terms of all these entitlement programs.
Why do you think he did this, Pomp? Like, obviously, giving an interview to 60 Minutes is a no-brainer in some sense in politics, but why do you think Jay Powell went out and did this?
I think he's probably frustrated, right? For years now, people have been critiquing what he's doing. People have been saying he's on it. And look, he did 11 interest rate hikes, and unemployment is at 3.7%. And so him coming out is kind of saying, everyone calm down for a second. In the short term, we're going to be okay. In the long term, though, I'm really worried. Now, the thing is that he's not going to be there in 10, 15, 20 years. And so he's leaving a message for his, next people to fill this role.
Obviously, we're in the middle of an election, Pomp, or it's about to be a two-person race potentially here any week now. And Donald Trump is starting to ratchet up the attacks against Jay Powell. Here was Powell asked on 60 Minutes about how politics could potentially play a role. I'll get your reaction on the other side.
We do not consider politics in our decisions. We never do, and we never will.
There are people watching this interview who are skeptical about that.
I would just say this. Integrity is priceless. And at the end, that's all you have. And we plan on keeping ours.
Headline from the Hill, Trump blasts Powell as political as Fed weighs rate cuts. Trump, it looks to me like he's trying to lower interest rates for the sake of maybe getting people elected. I don't know. Do you take Jay Powell at his word there, Pomp? Feels like he's going to be front and center later this summer if there's interest rate hikes.
I don't envy the central banker's role, right? If you look at it, Senator Elizabeth Warren was attacking him, telling him to lower interest rates to make housing more affordable. You got Donald Trump doing the same thing. Ultimately, politicians love to yell and scream, and they make the central banker a punching bag because they can't really punch back, and it scores political points. But at the end of the day, the central bankers are going to look at economic data, and they're going to try to make decisions based on that, I think.
Speaking of, obviously Trump, Biden, Joe Biden, President Biden's on the other side. He's starting to make the argument, Pomp, that things are great with the economy, 3.7% unemployment. Essentially historical lows, stock markets near all-time highs. That's one way to read it, right? And we see the White House making that argument here, especially in the recent weeks. But then I look at layoffs, Deutsche Bank, UPS, American Airlines, Microsoft, eBay, on and on and on down the line. What do you make of what's going on with the economy and then seeing all these layoffs?
I think there's two things that are happening. One, a bunch of companies got very bloated during 2020 and 2021 as they've been slashing jobs in 2022 and 2023. They're trying to kind of get fit and get to a better position. You saw Facebook put blowout earnings out there under the new Meta ticker. And that's really just they fired about 20,000 people and were able to drive much better returns for their shareholders. But the other thing that's happening here is there is a divergence between what the central bankers are saying and what people who operate these companies are saying. If you go and you listen to the bank CEOs, many of them believe that we are headed towards a recession. And one of the data points that I find most interesting is this idea that the more you see soft landing coming up, the more in news articles, the more often it is that a recession is right around the corner. And I think that may be the case here.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because one of the things I think of is when everyone's saying move in this direction, you got to look at what's in the other direction. And I just wonder as we talk soft landing, soft landing, soft landing, if you look the other way.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is something where we now have a perfected playbook by these central bankers where quantitative easing will easily be put into effect if we get any sort of recession. And so I fully expect them to cut interest rates in 2024. I fully expect them to go back to printing trillions of dollars. I think the national debt will continue to grow. And so the best thing that investors can do is get into hard assets, get out of cash. And I think also people in politics or in positions of power and influence, they've got to understand no matter what you say or do, you are not going to be able to change the trend that we're on. And so we've got to figure out a way to grow out of the problem. The debt is not going to be reduced. And so we have to get GDP growth going to actually get out of this issue.
Anthony Pompliano, got to leave it there. Pomp, great to talk to you. Hope you come on back soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.